going to be reviewing a TCMT backrest. So I've got the shorter backrest from Indian right now. It's a little too short with my Sissy rider seat. That's got a lot more, I guess, girth to it on the back passenger seat. So with the Indian seat, it's a little bit too small with the Indian backrest. So I've got their version of the taller one. So it looks exactly like the Indian one. And let's see what they have sent me. So I got the backrest. And excited about this part of it because this one comes with the actual luggage rack, which is extra, but that's going to make for a nice addition. And it's actually removable, so you don't have to have it on there when you have it on the bike. If you need it, you can put it on there with a couple bolts. If you don't need it, it comes right off, and you can't even tell it's missing. And then here it is. The main backrest itself. Looks a lot like the Indian one, but at a fraction of the price. So what I'm going to do is let me open this stuff all up, set the camera up closer so you guys can see me put it together, and then I'll talk about a couple options to put it on my bike, and we'll go from there. Okay, here's all the parts that came with it. You got the backrest, you got the Sissy bar itself, and you've got the optional luggage rack. Putting it together is really easy. I've got a couple holes on the back here, obviously holes right here, and then what I'm going to do is put the, in my case, the two smaller screws that came with it, and they just screw right into the back. I believe it's supposed to be a 5mm bolt. I'll show you what I'm doing here. Putting the screws in. So I'll tighten that up a little bit. These don't need to be torqued down too much. It's just there. And it's actually right now it's ready. If you didn't want to use the optional luggage rack, it's ready to put on the bike now. I really like this luggage rack. I think it's be kind of cool. So this just slides in here. And then you've got two longer bolts. These are also 5mm. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the lock washer that came with it, the bolt, and the flat washer, and just get that started. And I'll put the torque specs for all these bolts in the overlaid on the video. Okay, so I'm going to torque these down and then I'll bring it over to the bike. Now with my bike, it's a 2020 Springfield Dark Horse, so it's got the larger spools on it for the saddleback spools. This backrest actually is made for the smaller spools. So in the kit that I got from TCMT, it came with the smaller spools. I'll show you how to put those on the bike. They bolt right up. You take the old spools off, put the new ones on, and then this should fit like a glove. So let's go do that. I'll set the camera up over on the other side of the bike, and I'll show you how to put the spools on. Okay, so here's the box that the spools came in. So I'll show you what I got. All right, so this is the spools that come on the bike. So these are the ones, they're bigger. I've already changed the ones out on the other side, so I've got this one to show you. I'll compare it to these new spools. I believe, not 100% sure, but I believe they may coincide with the older spool setup that Indian used. So on some of the previous bikes, they use smaller spools. So as you can tell, the spools are different size. They're the same overall length coming out from the bike. The ends pretty much the same. It's just the diameter right here that is going to be different. So you need the skinnier spools in order to use this backrest. So what I'm going to do, I'll show you how to take these old spools off, put these new ones on. It's pretty easy, and we'll get to it. First thing you're going to want to do is get access right here, because you got to unplug the power for the bags. So you want to just carefully pop these covers off. Alright, so just set this aside somewhere where it's not going to get scratched. Alright, so the saddle bag goes right here with this electrical plug. You want to just unplug that. Then you're going to take a 6mm Allen. Loosen up both of these. Now when you're doing this, especially on this side where the bag is already tilting because it's on the kickstand, just kind of put your leg against it so you don't drop the bag. Alright, now carefully take the bag off, set it aside somewhere that it won't get scratched. So here's your spools. Next you're going to want to take a 11mm socket. And just break these loose. I'm going to hold on to this bolt that's in here, because that's what you're going to re-put into the new spool. You take that bolt, drop it into your spool, same with this spool. So I'm going to drop this one in there as well. Okay. Alright, so these little rubber grommets, make sure you don't lose those. They fit in the spools. Alright, so I'm going to tighten these back up, reconnect the electric, and put that cover piece on, and then I'll join you back to put the backrest on. And to install the backrest, what we're going to do is we're going to take these front openings here that are rubberized, put them against these spools, kind of, you know, just put those on those spools, and then we should be able to drop it down on these back pieces here on the rear spools. Okay, let's make sure it's on. Yep. And you just put these handles down, locks it in place, and shut your bags. That's what it looks like. Looks pretty good. I like it. So if you're ever going to go somewhere, you're going to have somebody on the back. That's going to be a lot more comfortable on their back. They can lean back. And if you want to carry something, that would be pretty cool. Alright, so this is the good part about it. Now the downside to this, I'll just full disclosure, since you are changing those spools out, when you don't have that backrest on, these pieces that you will use to fill in the gaps normally are not going to fit tight, so they're pretty much not going to be something you're going to be able to use. So you're either always going to have the backrest on, or you're going to have that gap when you take it off. Just full disclosure, that's the only downside I can see to this setup. Other than that, it fits great. It looks great. The quality is outstanding. Very sturdy. So, I don't know, for the money you can't beat it. Go check them out on TCMT's website.